Welcome back to Taival Outdoors. My name is Joel and today I have something a bit different in store for you all. We are going to go through my lightweight chest rig that I just wore 1 week ago in a reconnaissance field training exercise. Now, most Finnish males are part of our Defense Forces active or non-active reserves, so to speak. And if you're interested in hearing more about that and how the conscription and military system works in Finland, I've left a podcast link down in the description and pinned comment as well, so do check that out. But for now, let me just flip the camera down and let's start going through these pouches and kind of my thinking behind this chest rig for these kind of super lightweight infantry or reconnaissance purposes. So if you've been following my channel for a while, you have seen this chest rig hanging behind me in my gear room varusto, and I've actually used pretty much this exact setup now for roughly 4 years. Some of these pouches are older and so forth, but as anyone knows who has any kind of plate carrier or chest rig or whatnot, you are kind of constantly testing out different things and adapting it to your current needs. But I've been pretty happy with this system for quite a while now, so I figured it's a good time to go through the whole setup. Before jumping into it, I just want to briefly mention that yes, when we go to training exercises, we get all the gear we need from the Defense Forces, of course. And this kind of stuff that you could buy with your own money is kind of nice to have, but not mandatory, of course. I guess it makes sense to start off by showing what's kind of the base for this whole setup. So this is Varusteleka's ultralight chest rig that I have here. Couple of small modifications done, so there's a lot of loose strap with this rig, and I've taped all the ends, of course, just to make sure that it doesn't unravel on me, because there's a lot of that strap here. As well as I did some modifications to the part that crosses your upper back. So originally this wasn't built in a way that it cannot escape each other, so to speak. So it was possible to slide one strap all the way up and down the other strap, and I took it apart, and now everything is kind of weaved together so it stays put in one place. I don't know why they didn't do this originally, because it almost seems like that's how this was designed, but maybe something went wrong in the manufacturing process and it didn't come out of the factory like this. But anyway, easy fix for me. Then moving on to the pouches themselves, maybe starting from your left. This is probably the kind of controversial or curious pouch of this rig. So this Black Hawk pop flare pouch that holds nothing but my old Tahko Laplander folding saw. A folding saw is worth its weight in gold when setting up LPOPs or whatnot. Sure, you could keep it in your patrol bag, but I just like the ease of access when it's in my chest rig. And actually, I've done this in a way, hopefully it is visible there on the camera, that it's not actually even part of the chest rig normal weave itself. It hangs from these extra loops down here and up here. So it's actually outside of the main profile of the chest rig. So a bit of extra real estate possible to achieve like this. Next up, we have another quite old pouch. This is by Savotta, and this is their B-Stock VV2000 pound, so made for the night vision monocular that Finnish Defense Forces uses. So it has some padding, rigid lid, but it was B-Stock because the lid color doesn't match the color of the body of the pouch, and that's why a lot cheaper. But it was a great purchase that I did many years ago because, of course, it's completely mil-spec. Otherwise, very handy place to store extra batteries that I have here within the lid. And then if I do get the night vision monocular during the exercise, I will store it here, or like in this case, I can store my iPro and stuff like that. Something that's a bit more fragile goes here easily. Next up, we have another Sabota pouch in M05 camouflage. You always gotta have at least one general purpose pouch on you, no matter how lightweight rig you have. That's I'm quite adamant on on that. Down here, I have a little loop attached. You can hook in gloves or whatnot here, made by Vecvisir Creations. Quite handy little add-on to have there. And behind the pouch, I just have my old, 10 years old, I think, Falkniven F1. I don't like the handle of the knife, but since it is a high quality knife, a high quality blade, I want to have some use for it, so I just jerry-rigged it to the chest rig. Then we have two basic magazine pouches. These hold maximum of 4 AK style magazines, or 2 magazines and a radio. These are the old Varustelleka Särmä TST pouches back in the day when they were not available in M05, so I just bought some M05 fabric and added it to the lids themselves, so it is not as jarring when the rig is on to have like a big blob of green on top of my camouflage clothing. Now, why only 2 pouches? Well, when we go through any training exercise, we are basically always issued just 3 magazines. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's just the way it is. During wartime, I'm sure the situation would be different, but during peacetime, I think I've maybe once in my lifetime have received more than 3 magazines. So usually we get 3, so 1 is in the weapon, of course, so 2 goes to the chest rig, which means that 1 of the pouches will be available for, again, other stuff. Then, moving on, I have a small IFAK. This is actually custom made by Simplexity Customs. It is a bit smaller than, for example, the one that Varustelleka sells. Otherwise, the hanger itself is from Varustelleka, but the pouch size itself is a bit smaller. And behind it, some shears or scissors. Then this is Templar's gear, probably a pistol mag pouch that just holds my Leatherman single. So the same Leatherman that I always carry in my Hill People Gear kit bag when I'm outdoor, you know, hiking, backpacking, whatnot. Same thing here. Down here, old US military surplus grenade pouch, I believe. Just holds my headlamp. That has red light by default, and the white light I've taped over because there's never any need for that, and better to have it secured for light discipline. And finally, again, halfway out of the chest rig proper, I do have a dump pouch. Rarely used for what dump pouches are made for, but it is useful if I have to suddenly carry some extra stuff due to the mission or whatever, then I can unfold the dump pouch and just put it in there and then fold it back up when I don't need it. And finally, maybe worth mention up here on my left shoulder, I just have a tourniquet pouch with a cat tourniquet and a little piece of shock cord to hold things in place. For example, hydration bladder hose goes through here, or during the previous exercise, my comms went through this as well to keep them in place. And then whatever loops I've had kind of extra still in the rig, I've just added a bit of extra camo netting, because why not? Always good to have something a bit extra to break off the shape of things. So yeah, that's it. Pretty basic stuff. Definitely not the fanciest chest rig out there. And as said, it's not something that is required of us, but I like to have some of my own stuff. I go to these exercises 1 to 4 times per year, so it's just nice to have everything already with you when you go there, and you know you don't have to spend time setting up the default Finnish Defence Forces combat vests and attaching pouches and whatnot. You have everything always in the same place when you have your own rig and so forth. Really makes the whole deployment and stuff a lot faster and easier for me. Let me know down in the comments if you're interested in hearing more about this kind of stuff, Finnish Defence Forces, reserves and our service and whatnot, then I would be happy to make more videos like this, or about the gear in general. Maybe that's more kind of the things that people are expecting from this channel anyway. But that's it for this time. You'll be watching Taival Outdoors. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.